Hi everyone, just a short video today on upcycling fabrics you might have around the house. I'm going to start with flannelette because it's so useful when making your own pads. It's often around the house. It's usually nice bright patterns. It's nice and soft. It might be a little warm as a topper in summer, but it can make a great topper, a great backer, and you can even use it for your cores. You might need 6 to 8 layers for a high absorbency pad, but it is doable without buying any expensive products. All we do to check the absorbency is get a small glass of water and just drop a few beads on. Now it's sinking straight in. It's that quick, I'm not even sure if you can see it, but that means it's highly absorbent. So another great source of flannelette is baby products. This is a baby wrap. Now this has been washed in fabric softener, which is something important to keep in mind if you use fabric softener around the house, or if you buy products from an op shop and they might smell quite heavily of the fabric softener. It's good to do a strip and sanitize, or at least a hot wash with a cup of vinegar. Strip and sanitize instructions are in the files in the Facebook group. So if we do the water test, it's beading a little bit and then sinking in. I might do another vinegar wash on that. I would probably tend to use the darker colours as the topper because that will hide any stains a little easier than the white will. Another great source is a flannelette sheet. This is a flannelette pillowcase. Do a test. This one I bought from the op shop and it smelt really heavily of fabric softener. So that one is going to go in the wash with the baby wrap to try and remove a bit more, because that should be a lot more absorbent than what it is. Another popular fabric as a topper is a minky blanket. I personally don't like the feel. It's very soft. I'm not sure why I don't like it, but it's quite absorbent. This one smells of fabric softener, and if you can see there, the water's beading, so that one will need another wash. Now I've got a pair of pyjamas that aren't flannelette and the label isn't overly clear, but I love the print. That would make a great topper if it's absorbent. Let's do a test. Beads momentarily, but it is sinking in, so that would make a great topper. I also have this gorgeous sheet that I purchased from an op shop. I plan on making my whole stash out of this sheet, so I'm really hoping it's absorbent. And yes, it is. So I'm rapt about that, and I got it at a bargain price as well. A little remnant my very generous sister has given me. Do the water test. Now, it's not waterproof, but it's slightly water resistant. You can see by the water beads. That would make a great backer. This one, this is just leftovers. I love the print. If it's absorbent for a topper, that would hide any stains. Nice and absorbent. That'll be my topper. In actual fact, I might use that as my topper and that as my backer. Now, another thing I've already hacked into as a backer is a pair of denim jeans. So, not waterproof, but the water's beading, so water resistant. And I think that's really quite a nice backer. It goes with almost any fabric. It can make a vintage sheet look a little bit groovy. Otherwise it goes with most fabrics. Now, cores. So, just have a little face flannel here, nice and absorbent. We have an old tea towel, absorbent, and I have an old towel which I have already hacked into, but we'll test it anyway. Nice and absorbent. Now the thing about towels, face washes and hand towels is that sometimes the older the better. With fabric, the more it's been washed, usually the more absorbent it gets, as long as you don't use fabric softener. So old towels just make the perfect toppers. If you have heavy flow and you need a really super heavy duty pad, you might end up with quite a few cores, and that can make for a really thick pad. But in one of my other videos, I'll show you how to do a stepped core, which can get around that. Lastly, I found a local mum store, or parent store I should say, that sells secondhand baby items, and I just bought a couple of the nappy inserts to give a go. So it says 100% polyester, but it feels like it would be really absorbent. It beads for a moment, but then it absorbs. It's 2 layers sewn together, so that would be quite absorbent without being as thick. Like 2 layers of that, you can see when the video camera catches up, 2 layers of that aren't going to be as thick as 2 layers of towel, but it's not something a lot of people would have around the house, so I'm just going to use that for any special pads with any kind of special material I have. But I do prefer just to use what's around the house. Saves the fabric ending up in landfill. If I buy from the op shop, it also supports charities that support, you know, the less fortunate, and I just get a great variety of fabrics at a great price, and it's quite satisfying upcycling something. So that's a few materials you could use around the house, and now let's get sewing.